Hello, May class, and welcome to your next maths lesson. In the previous lesson, we were looking at multiplying three-digit numbers by a one-digit number. So today, we are moving on to something that I know we find a bit tricky, but we're going to work through it slowly. We're going to be doing a bit of division. So make sure before you start that you have your pencils and your paper ready. And we're going to start with our arithmetic questions, and then we're going to move on to the lesson. So I'm going to share my screen with you. So our arithmetic for today are the following questions. 160 divided by 2, 136 divided by 3, 120 divided by 4, 144 divided by 6, 240 divided by 8, 480 divided by 6, 172 divided by 2, 108 divided by 4, 184 divided by 8, and 120 divided by 6. So I would like you to pause the video now and work through the answers to this. Remember, you can use for this one here for your arithmetic, whatever method works for you of how you would like to do this. So numbers 1 to 10, please pause the video and answer these. Okay, so as mentioned before, we're going to be looking at dividing two-digit numbers by a single digit. So to start off, you've got a 2-minute challenge I'm going to give you, so make sure you can set a timer somewhere. Give yourself 2 minutes to do this, no longer, no less. Using all of these digit cards, and you can only use them once in your sum. And any of the symbols, plus, minus, divide, or multiply, how many of the numbers from 1 to 12 can you make? So how many can you make? I'll give you an example of if I were to use them only once, and let me get my, I just need my thing. Okay, so if I were to do 21 divided by 3, so I've got my 2, my 1, and my 3, and I've used division, my answer would be 7. So if I were to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, from 0 to 12, so my 1 there, my 0, I can make 7, so I'm going to cross out my 7. I can do 3 minus 2 equals 1. So I can do 3 minus 2, sorry, no, that's wrong. 3 minus 2, so I've managed to make the number 1. So how many of these numbers can you make using these 3-digit cards, and then a plus, a minus, a division, and a multiplication, making sure that in your question you've only used each number once. So off you go and do that. You've got 2 minutes to see how many of the numbers between 0 and 12 you can make. Okay. We're going to be working at using a few different methods for division today. So the first one, if we look at this question, says 93 divided by 3. So 93 is going to be divided into 3 equal groups. As you can see here, Rosie has used her place value chart, and she's got her 10s and her 1s. So I've got something quite similar on the next page, and I will talk you through it. Rosie has got 93 divided by 3, and she's got her 10s and her 1s. So if we lay this out, we've got 90 10s and we've got 3 1s. And we have to break it up into 3 equal groups. So what she has done is she's created a place value chart just for her tens and her ones. There's my ones, there's my tens. And she has split that into 3 because she needs 3 equal groups. Now I can work with my ones, and I know that 3 divided by 3 will equal 1. 3 divided by 3 is, oh, I've lost my 3 divided by 3 is 1. So I would put 1 counter in each one here. So 1, 2, 3. I also have 90. Now 90 divided by 3 is going to give me, 90 divided by 3 is going to give me 20. So in one group, it will have 20, and then another group will be 20, and then the other group will be 20. So in my tens, I'm going to put, oh, sorry, it's 30. That's my mistake. It's 30. So I'm going to put 3 here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So there are 3 groups. There's 1 group, there's 2 groups, there's 3 groups, and in each group I have got 31. So 93 divided by 3, so divided into 3 equal groups, is going to give me 31. And we can double check with what we've got here. Let me just erase this so you can see it better. Like I said, there's 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 1, 1, 1. So there's 31 in each group. So 93 divided by 3 gives me 31. So using your place value counters or your place value chart, I would like you to complete these questions. I will show you one of them here so that you have a good idea of how to do these. Let me just draw for you. So if we have our place value chart, we'll do it there. So the first question, 66 divided by 3. So 66 is going to be divided into 3 equal groups. So we've got our, and I'm going to put this line down the middle here. So this will be our tens and this will be our ones. So we have got 66 divided into 3 equal groups. So if I can divide my ones, I'm going to go, and I could just do it like this. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I don't have any more to split of my ones. So I'm going to move to my tens. Let's make them pink. And I'm going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. I don't have any left. So what I can do now is I'm going to count one of these groups. There's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups. 1 group, I'm going to count. There's 2 tens and 2 ones. So the answer should be 22. So pause the video now and work out these division questions using your tens and your ones column. The only thing I would suggest when you are looking, for example, that you might find a little bit difficult is the question E, because actually question E gives you the same thing. It's just written in a slightly different way. So that's the question. So 39 divided by 3 will give me an answer. So remember what I said about your equal signs. Whatever happens here has to be on this side because they are the same. So the answer here will be the same as 39 divided by 3. So pause the video now and have a go at these 6 questions. Moving on. We have got Dexter is working out 56 divided by 4 using the method that we have just looked at. He says, I can't do it because I have counters left over. So he can see that 56 can't divide into 4 equally like we have in our groups before. We are going to have to do something else. So do you agree that it can't be done? Do you think it can't? Yes or no? And then I will talk through it with you. Okay, so if we've got, get my counter back. If we have got our table, and I will put it here for us. And we've got our 10s on the one side and our 1s on the other side. You will see, I'm just going to do that so you can see it. So 10s on one side, our 10s over here, and our 1s over here. And they should be in 5 equal groups. Oh, sorry, 4 equal groups. So I'm going to go across. That's 2, 3, 4. So I've got 4 equal groups that I have, and the problem is that when we are counting, so let's count this together. We have got, let's start with our 1, 6. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I were to carry on splitting up my 6 and I went 5, 6, there's nothing left to put into these 2 columns. And that is a problem because when we divide, we are trying to divide it into equal groups. So I'm going to take away the 2 that are not equal and I'm going to put them on the side here. So those are my 1s. Let's look at our 10s. We've got 50. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Let's do a different color actually so we can see it better. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 10, 20, 30. We have 40. We can't put a 50 there because then the groups are uneven. So I'm going to put my 10 there. So now I'm left with 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 left over, which if we know our times tables, we know that 12 can be divided into 4 because 12 divided by 4 is 3. And I know that 10 is made up of 10 1s. So I can actually go 10 1s plus 2 1s is 12 1s. And now let me see if I can do it here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Have I used these 2? Yes. Have I used this 10? Yes. So now my answer would be 56 divided by 4 is going to equal 1 of these groups. And that is going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 56 divided by 4 is going to give me 14. If you are unsure of this, let's do the inverse. So if I say 14 times by 4, okay, 4, sorry, let me lay it out like we learned, times by 4. 4 times 4 is 16, with the 1 there. 4 times 10 is 40, plus the 10 there is 56. So using my inverse, I can check that answer. So I don't actually agree with Dexter. I think you can work it out. You just have to separate the leftovers into 1s. You would change them into 1s, and then you would evenly distribute them or divide them. Okay, so remember, that's what we've just looked at, that can 12 be divided by 4? And the answer was yes. So using your place value counters to complete the division, please complete the following questions. I will work through the first question with you, and then hopefully you can set off with the next 5. So the first question says 72 divided by 3. So we've got to break it into 3 equal groups. You can see that I have divided my place value chart into 3 equal groups. I'm going to start with my 2, and I can see that 2 is not going to go into these. So if we start with our 7, let's start with our 70. So we're going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and I'm left with 110 because that won't split equally. And then I'm also left with 2, where's my counter gone? There. 2 1s because those can't separate equally into here. And we know, like we mentioned previously, that 10 is equal to 10 1s. So actually, we've got 12 1s there, and we can separate that into 3 equal groups. We know that. So from our times table of 12 divided by 3 is equal to 4, or 3 times 4 is 12, 4 times 3 is 12. So let's equally distribute our 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now I have used my 10, I've used my 2 1s, and I've split up my 70 because it was split from 70 into 10 and 60, and that 10 was then used. That 10 was used down here to work that out into 12. So the answer would be one of these rows. So 72 divided into 3 equal groups will equal 24. And we can work that out by using our inverse. Again, 24 times by 3. 3 times by 4 is 12. 3 times by 20 is 60, plus that is 70. So the answer is 72. So pause the video now and complete the rest of the questions, these 5 questions. So another way of working this out is by using our part-whole model, but by splitting the number up. So we can see in this working here that Amir has split 68 into, so he's got a 68, he's split it into 60, and he has split it into 8. What Amir does then is he takes the fact that it is 68 divided by 4, and he divides each number by 4, each number that he has split. So we would then do 60 divided by 4, and you would do 8 divided by 4. And I know from my times tables that 8 goes into 4, or 4 goes into 8 twice, and 4 goes into 60 15 times. Another way of doing that is to remind yourself that 15 plus 15 equals 30. So 15 times by 4 will give me 60. So 60 divided by 4 equals 15. Okay. What do we think of that answer? Remember, or this way of working, remember that you are splitting the number up into your 10s and your ones. And then you're dividing each one by the number that you were supposed to divide it by. So if you were dividing by 4, you would just say 4. If you were dividing by 2, for example, you would still split it and then you would divide each number by 2. It is important that you do divide each number because the whole number together is 68. The whole number is 68. It is made up of 60 and 8, but each side needs to be divided by 4 because that is the question. It's divided by 4. When you get an answer for each side, so we could see that 60 divided by 4 is 15. 8 divided by 4 is 2. You would add these two numbers together, and then you would get 68 divided by 4 is equal to 17. So, using Amir's method, can you complete the following? And you can see that they've already split the first one up for you into factors of 3, because actually the number that you are dividing it by is 3, and it is much easier to divide 30 and 12 by 3 than 42. So they've split that up into a factor of 3. And 96 has been split already. It's 96 divided by 4, but we've split it into 80. And then what number would go here? So that's the first thing. What's left? What do you need to add to 80 to get it to 96? That goes there. And then you would divide both sides by 4. And then add the answers together. Same as this one. You would divide both sides by 3. And then you would add the answers together. So, for your independent work, I would like you to think about the two methods that we've just done with the partitioning and the place value counters, and use those two methods to solve these division calculations. You've got 52 divided by 4, 75 divided by 5, 72 divided by 6, 54 divided by 3, 32 divided by 2. Question 2 says Kim has got 92 beads. She wants to share them equally between 4 friends. How many beads will each friend have? So your question would be 92 divided by 4. Then something we haven't used in a while, but you would need to work out what the answers on either side are, and then tell me, is this number bigger than, smaller than, or equal to the number on the right-hand side? So if we have a look at the first one, the first question is 96 divided by 8. I'm going to split it into, I'm going to use the partitioning, and I'm going to go 80 and 16. So 80 divided by 8 is 10, 16 divided by 8 is 2. Sorry, and then you add them together. So add them together. So this question would be, the answer is 12 on that side. Then we would look at the next one where it says 72 divided by 6. Again, I can split it up. I can say 60 on this side, 12 on this side, divide both sides by 6. 60 divided by 6 is 10, 12 divided by 6 is 2. So add them together and I get 12. So on both sides of this one, I have 12. And I have to write one of those to make the statement true. So to make this statement true, I would say 12 is equal to 12. So pause the video now and work out these questions, please. Don't forget to share your work with us on Tapestry. We really do enjoy seeing your work, and it's nice for us to be able to help you and give you some advice and some suggestions. If you have any other questions about it as well, please hold on to them, and don't forget you can ask us during the live lessons. Don't forget that the work needs to be on Tapestry by 4 o'clock, please.